It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. I hope so. Now, John, he's a friend of mine. He gets my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as the smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. But he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You are, aren't you? You've got us feeling all right. That's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday with the sun out. Could you not? Why'd you start the waving now?
Because I'm on the screen and I am your executive manager. Or chief executive officer. Or
it's exactly this kind of nonsense.
Head manager, senior manager.
Leads us to the problems that we've now got.
No, without me, you'd have lots of problems.
Where
what?
You're giving me a kidney and I'm not giving you one. And where you'll never let me forget it. Well, and no, don't start talking yet. Don't start talking yet because this is my bit. And furthermore,
I thought it was my bit.
No, how many minutes is it? 5 minutes and what? So now my job is to talk and babble for the next 15 minutes, okay, through that song. But you know what, Sue?
Can I just say something?
What? It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday. What do you want to say?
What I want to say is that you'll all be sad to know that Rachel is not with us this weekend, and we had a wonderful time with her last weekend. Our technical manager Rachel, who did a marvellous job of looking after us and tidying us up.
Background music.
And she's gone back up to the Lake District. And actually, speaking of the Lake District, I have a question for you.
Go on, I'm playing and
How
I'm thinking.
many lakes are there in the Lake District?
I don't care. What? Can I just point out?
Guess.
I don't care.
Guess.
No, I don't want to care. Can I just say how much I don't care? All right, here, if I could explain to you how much I don't care, all I care about, let me just say this out loud, right? As far as the lakes are concerned, is that I get up there once again to see them. Now, I don't care how many there are. There obviously are something like 18. Including loads of tarns. So it must be in the region because there's small lakes and large lakes. So let's see if you can name them. Wastwater, Windermere.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
answer?
trying to lay it to
Would you like to know the answer?
Rasmere, Brothers
The
Water,
answer is
Rydal.
1.
Oh, don't start.
No, it's true. It's true. Rachel taught me this last week, and I'm so grateful to her because I knew something that you didn't know about the Lake District.
Which
and
is what?
It's 1, and it's Bassenthwaite Lake. The rest are waters, tarns, and meres.
So I was close, you see, tarns. I was. Okay, so it's only
one lake.
Which one is it?
Bassenthwaite.
Yeah, I love Bassenthwaite.
Yeah, Bassenthwaite.
If somebody with a tongue tie said it's the only lake that they're very glad they've got a tongue tie because they can take Bassenthwaite.
And can I say, talking about Rachel, lovely Rachel would like to say thank you to you all for all your lovely, kind comments about her and her work and her visit down last week, which was so important to us.
Yeah,
and
I might just say that here, that just on my right hand side here,
you can actually
I can
move.
actually get in and get out without killing myself and pulling over one of my son's lights, which I thought was busted, £1,500 worth. And when we tripped over the wires, but now she's put everything on. She's got piano mics, new piano mics that she's installed, which are better. And anyway, and it leads me to say, in the words of Billy Joel, it's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
And it is.
And the manager, she gives me a smile. That's smile music. And when I do the smile, the twinkly twinkly stuff, that's when you smile.
Okay, darling.
Okay, we'll try again. It's a pretty good crowd for look miserable, normal, like normal. Yeah, that's it. That's the look. That's the one. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday. And the manager, unusually, gives me a smile.
Okay, move on.
Because she knows that it's me. Obviously, they've been coming to see whatever John, the Where Is My CD Greenwood says, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar, hand put bread in my jar, and say, "Ma'am, what are you doing here?" La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Big ending.
Are you done? You always have to Rachel's giving you the test signal.
There we go. And all I've got to say to you is...
With hair.
All right?
Black hair.
I just want one more time. And we found... Do you remember, any of you, that were local... do you remember this? I don't know whether you remember this. Hold on. Let's just see. Here we go. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? Remember that? From way back when.
You look like David Crockett.
Because it was the time... David Crockett, this isn't it? I don't know, for a wee Scotsman. It's like that, isn't it? You tuck it back and just put a wee berry on and play Amazing Grace, and that's it. We're done. We're done. Absolutely. So we better take it off. Found that underneath the piano, and that's going to be when I come back from the operation. That's what the wig I'm going to be wearing to cover up my. Anyway, how you all doing this week? Interesting week, and I think there's a song that I'm going to sing, and I think you'll get the reference. But I think we all.
Can I just say, they're on the floor there. Can I just say, we have 2 birthday people in the room tonight. So we have David Mecklenburg. It is your birthday today.
Happy birthday, David.
And Helen Phillips. Lovely Helen. It is your
Hello,
birthday
Helen.
today as well. So happy birthday, David and Helen.
All right.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David and Helen. Happy birthday to you. And a song that actually, to reflect this time of year, here we go. We're going to do it now, put it on quietly. And this is a song I want to sing right now for Gareth Hill, who requested it, and I think it's very appropriate. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter.
Little darling, it seems like years since we've been here.
Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sing with me. Sun, sun, and sun, 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 here it comes. One more time. Bam, bam, bam. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. And it was lovely to get out in the garden, wasn't it?
It
Just
was.
a lovely one.
It was.
And to
lovely.
see the suddenly, it's summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Yeah, that is rich, and your ma is just good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings and you take to the sky. Until that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. Well, your mommy and daddy standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is oh so very, very high. Your dad is rich and your mom is so good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime. Little baby, don't you cry. Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doom-bama.
Oh, they enjoyed that. I had fun with that.
Yes,
It was good. A little bit of an instant arrangement on that one.
Instant arrangement.
Yes, I've not heard you play it like that before.
I've not heard it play me.
Okay.
That's, anyway, there we go. Now, I'm going to do a little song the backing track in a second. Yeah. I'm going to try this one. I haven't done this one on the community before, and it's been one that I recorded many years ago on the album Pilgrim, I think it was. And it was an album with the cover that was designed by a man who wanted to see me looking depressive, and sure enough.
It's really funny because they took a whole load of photographs, and they said, "What do you think?" And John and I sort of looked at them. I thought, "Oh, some of them aren't too bad." And they said, "There's one that really sticks out. It's fabulous. It's the must-have photograph on the album." And it was the most depressing look. And he just had his arms folded.
It was Dan Borum who picked it. He said, "Yeah, that's you, JV. It's you. It's definitely you." And it was the worst, and as a result, when people looked at it, they went, "Oh, this is going to be depressing," and they didn't buy the album. It's one of the albums that didn't sell very much. We got a few of them here for sale, so if you want the album, it's going for £8, and it's got some fabulous songs on it. Again, it was the real cementing of my relationship with Mark, and he pulled in quite a lot of his mates. Ben Castle started recording with me on that one, and Bryn Howarth as well. And who is on the latest one. So that was a long time ago, and Dan Borum produced it, and he after it was finished, he said, "Well, I didn't like some of the songs on it." And I just thought, you didn't want to do this, did you? Your heart was not in this, Dan.
Never mind. It's got some great tracks on it. And
it's got some great tracks, and it's really... And this is one of them. Oh, hear me singing, hear the words that I'm saying. Wash my soul with water from on high. In a world that's seen around me, in a world that confound me. Lord, if you leave me, I will die. You just have me in our bosom. The storms of life are over. You just rock me in the cradle of thy love. Then you feed me, yes you feed me, till I don't want no more. And you take me to that blessed home above. Come on, Mark. Help me to do good wherever I can. Oh, let thy pleasures fill me. Let your Holy Spirit fill me. I just hold thee in the hollow of your hand. You just have me in thy bosom till the storms of life are over. Rock me in the cradle of thy love. Then you feed me, yes you feed me, till I want no more. And you take me to that blessed home above. Okay, guitar man, play that song. Ben Castle on the sax. Journey brighter, make my burden lighter. Help me to do good wherever I can. Let thy pleasures fill me, let your Holy Spirit fill me. I hold thee in the hollow of your hand. Oh yeah. comes. With the lovely Tracy on vocals there. Well, we hope you enjoyed that one. That was a little bit of energy. It was Mark Edwards on piano and me supplementing it, just about. Mark should have been here with us tonight.
He should have been with us tonight.
And it was such a sad thing that he couldn't come. Of course, we can't because we're in isolation, so we can't have anybody in the studio or in the house. So that's what we're doing now. And but it's not got long to go. And our special guest in half an hour is going to be a friend from the dialysis unit that I've been having dialysis with and seeing pretty much every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, And he's been listening to the show together with other people in the unit. And I thought actually he's had, well, I'll let him tell you his story. And it's a great story. And his wife, Roz, who is also in a similar position to Ruth, to Sue, and giving a kidney. So it's quite a pairing that we'll have, and we'll have a discussion about all of that, and that'll be at 9 o'clock. So don't clock off, because if you really want to know what we're going to go through, he knows more than most what's going to be happening.
Learn something.
And it might be thoroughly depressing. So I hope it's not going to be David or Roz, okay? And you're going to learn lots of stuff about it. Now, Nicholas is not listening because he's doing a gig tonight.
He's doing a gig tonight, but our youngest
where is
son,
he tonight? In
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe.
Yeah, they did a gig. They did a gig last night, another one tonight. So they're very excited that they're
done
back
2 live gigs, and they're getting paid.
We know that you enjoyed having them in the Steinway Room last week, as indeed we did. And our baby Nick is actually, I can't bear to think about this. 28. He's 28 on Thursday. How can he be 28 on 28? Thursday?
He's a boy. Anyway, he's a baby.
This particular song was a song that he used to sing a lot when he was a youngster, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
He used to walk around the house.
Walk around doing this. All right. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of accent training. All right now, because this song requires you to sing a little bit, if you can, in a Jamaican accent. Because this is a bit of a reggae tune, and it comes from right down there in Jamaica. And people say to me, how do you do the accent? How do you do all these things, you see? And I say to them, I listen, you see. I listen to people speaking, and then I do it. And Sue, who is very, very good at accents, says, now I'm going to do a Jamaican accent for you now. Thank you. What? You don't want to do it? All right, then. So we'll now embark on a training course for y'all. All right? Training course in speaking Jamaican. Are you ready now? I think the race relations board, they're going to take me down, but me don't care, Sure, man, All right. So, here it goes. How do you speak Jamaican? Well, here it goes. If you say to me, you say with me, beer. Now, you want to say the word bacon, all right? Here it goes. And you say, beer.
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 Can.
Can.
And you say,
beer
can. All right?
It's
so
awful.
that, would you like some beer can? And I got Rachel doing this. And I want all you out there, all you white people doing this. Because then when you go to Jamaica for your holidays, you can go, excuse me, young man, I'd like some beer can. All right? And then they give you probably arrest you and put you in prison. Probably will do. But in the meantime, you then can't sing.
What you have to understand is that if I go on holiday with Jonathan, he does this the entire time.
I did do that. We went to Barbados. Do you remember?
It was for our silver wedding anniversary a long time ago now.
A long time ago. That's 25 years. So how we had 15 years ago now. And it was the times when we could afford it. So that won't come again anytime soon. I think it's going to be a week in Scunthorpe, and if we're really for second prize, it will be 2 weeks in Scunthorpe. So this song is one of those. Oh yes, we were in Barbados. And as I landed in the plane, and of course Jamaican is a very different accent to so the Bayesians are very, very soft in their language. It's very much like the Vincentians. So St. Vincent, you see, when my cousin come and speak, he came and speak on a very soft accent, unlike the Jamaican, which is quite tough. You know, it's a bit like, if I compare it to Glasgow and Edinburgh, that's what it becomes. You know, right, you know, it's like that in Glasgow, right, enough. And in Edinburgh, you see, you'll have had your tea then. It's much more refined, you see. It's that. So when you're a wee singer, you're listening to these wee tones and changes of dialect, which is quite important. And it's the same for West Indians. And when you're speaking like that, you must change into this thing. And it goes right down into your guts, you know. So I want one of them. So when you sing this song now, it goes like this. And I sing this for all you out there writing to me and saying, you must be terrified going into this operation. And I say, you know what? I'm not terrified at all. All you're praying for me. Loads of positive thinking going on. And you know what? As my son Nick would say, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing with me now. Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Oh, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Come on now. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds, oh, pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message for you. Come on now, don't worry about a thing. For every little thing is gonna be alright. About a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Here, just on the comedy. Don't worry, that's right, about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. One more time. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Ting and ting.
Ting and ting.
All right. So don't worry about the thing. And everybody out there, particularly Wayne and Yvonne out there, I hope you enjoy my little accent, my little Jamaican accent, you know. And out there in, I put it out to all the West Indians who are watching tonight who think, why are you speaking like this? Is not what Vincentian does. And I know that, but I can't do Vincentian. It's far too refined.
It's soft.
It's soft and gentle. Accent. It's a soft accent. Jonathan. I always say Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you doing? Is that enough accent for now? All right then. That's cool.
All right.
So that's it.
What a relief.
So happy birthday. And I sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nicholas, on Thursday. Happy birthday to you. Hope we've got him a present on Amazon. Bless Amazon.
Hurrah.
Amazon, who are a pain in the neck, and I don't like them much.
But actually, when you're isolating,
they are pure gold. So you order it and they send it. I got my lens cleaners that I ordered. Very sad that I am.
It's sad, man. It got very excited
I got very
about
excited
a large box of lens cleaners.
A box of lens cleaners because my glasses get so.
You must get out more.
I really must.
Oh, you can't.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to do a little kind of well, not serious. It's not actually, but it's a difficult song, and one of those songs that could be found on one of the albums, one of the many albums. I hope you enjoyed that, by the way. Did they?
They did. Yes, they brought some in on.
While he's singing along.
Singing
And talking about singing along, don't forget that should I live through this operation and come out the other end and still have vocal folds that can sing, then we're already... I did another day with Mark the other day, and we've done some really fun arrangements of Christmas songs and Christmas carols. So it's, as usual, a mixture between the secular and the sacred. And we did the most wonderful kind of ragtime version of I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, which just sounded immense. He ended up, and we were just smiling our heads off, Harry Connick Jr. kind of version of that. And we'll put loads of stuff on it. So we'll eventually, he'll be arranging those songs. Probably the choir will be singing a song that you will know from your childhood, and we've decided on it, and it's going to be Go Tell It on the Mountain, but quite a funky version.
Fantastic version.
And Mark's going to do a real job on it, and we're going to be Go Tell It on the Mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Mary's baby, he's not just an ordinary baby. Tell him the Savior is born. Based on a Gregory Porter arrangement. And but we're going to be doing that. So Go Tell It on the Mountain. That would be it'd be wonderful to have you lot coming and singing. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Mary's baby, he's not just an ordinary baby. Tell him the Savior is born. We did it on Christmas Day for years. And so it will be, once we've had the op, Matthew will be doing any fundraising we can. Those of you who want to sing in the choir will be asked again. You'll be approached again. If you'd like to sing in the choir, pay a bit of money to do that, and we can get the album that will be done on the same basis. You effectively pay for your album, and then we get the funds to be able to make it, hire the musicians, pay for Mark, and everything else that needs to be paid for, which is quite a lot, if we want to produce a quality piece of product. That will be ready then, therefore, hopefully, all being well, and me being well enough to go and record it in the studio sometime in late summer. Then early autumn, possibly. Depends how I feel. Then we can get that out to you for mid-November, early to mid-November, ready for Christmas presents. So that's the plan so far. This one from a previous album that many people have asked for.
And Pat, lovely Pat Woolridge, you suggested this one, and it was a very good suggestion. I'd like also to dedicate this to Ruth Shelsher. It was your birthday last Friday. And lovely Ruth, we're thinking of you and hope you had a good time celebrating with your friends this afternoon. But happy birthday for last Friday.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace, fallen from grace. God be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till he come face to face. He knows his way in the dark. Mine is the way of the Lord. And those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword, stars in your multitude, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and life. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, you know your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flame. And so it has been, so it is written on the doorways of paradise, and those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear, this I swear, by the stars.
Lovely, really lovely.
Those
Lots
of you
enjoyed that. Lots of people enjoyed that.
Who are subscribing, I would encourage you now, join the hundreds now who have subscribed to YouTube and can see so many of my performances on YouTube. You can watch them without subscribing, but in fact, if you subscribe, then it counts towards the views, and each view, it counts up, and it adds and adds and adds to the popularity of what we do and what we do here on live from the Steinway Room, which now is reaching more and more people watching via Facebook, via YouTube. But you can become a subscriber. It's very simple. You click subscribe, and that's it. And then you become, and so many people have done that, and Rachel and Claire are encouraging you now to do that. Just click subscribe, and you can watch so many of my videos, one of them being Stars, which I did with the boys in the band on tour, and somebody filmed it.
Was it in Eastbourne?
In Eastbourne. We did it in Eastbourne, actually, strangely enough. That was filmed. They just put a set camera down and just filmed me doing it. And that was the one that was the reason I remember that one, is because that's when Britain's Got Talent phoned me. Hello. I don't know whether you've heard of us, Britain's Got Talent. I just wonder whether you'd like to appear on the show, because we want somebody. We know that the blind disabled dog from Scunthorpe juggling is going to win, but we like you to come on and sing a song, and then everybody, and it will improve. You can go and play. Literally, you can play in front of hundreds of people sometimes. I said no. All right, because I didn't want to be humiliated on television. I thought, actually, no. When they said, you could try, you know.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure you even did say no. I think you just told them how old you were.
Oh yes, she asked me, didn't she? She said, I just love your videos. I love everything. She said, it's such a fantastic. I'm sorry I haven't come across you. So I said, oh no. She said, can I just ask a question? How old are you actually? So I said, it was about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I said 58. She went, oh, thank you. So I escaped the clutches of humiliation on television, being told by an idiot that, no, I think probably you should go away and work a little bit on your vocals. No, I don't think so. Anyway, here we go.
What are you going to do now?
I'd like to do a backing track, please. Let's have a smile.
With this one, I always think of P and Rachel, but actually, we're going to wish our Claire happy birthday.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Claire.
Claire Hare.
Claire.
Happy birthday to you. Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
There we go.
And lovely Claire, it's your birthday tomorrow. So Jonathan would like to sing this.
So Rachel,
for you.
throw it on, will you please, darling? Here we go. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. While there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Oh, smile, 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 smile. Light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Come on, Marcus. Oh, smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Oh, light up your face with gladness. Hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Smile, smile, smile. Bring it down, boys. A bit more. Yeah, a bit more. Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. That's Mark Edwards. Mark Edwards on piano, Arnie Sovaji on bass, on double bass, and Darren E. Beckett on drums in that
Fabulous
wonderful version from
Fabulous
arrangement that we did way back when, and we just gave it a little bit more.
Sessions 1.
Yeah, Lockdown Sessions 1. Mm-hmm. You can buy it now if you haven't got it. What I do want to do is I'm going to do something which is, I will do Good Night Angel in a minute, but I'm just going to do a song which I've been promising to do for a long time for a man called Adrian Locke. And Adrian, this is just to say to you that although it's a beautiful tune, it is very high, and I know why people don't sing it, because congregations don't sing it because it's too high. Often you write songs for congregation, as I often do, and you have to keep to a lower, what's called tessitura, lower height. Anyway, this one is for you, and you love these words, and it's from, I think it was in Youth Praise 1. Yeah, it was in Youth Praise 1. Youth Praise, anybody remember that book? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to put this down here so I can see the words, and I'm having always trouble with sight these days, close sight, and glasses don't help either, so. And this is how it goes. It's called Jesu, Lover of My Soul. We've got a few of the Jesu, we've got one for another, after the interview, when we do another one, in similar vein. And it's, so old words, Jesu, Lover of my soul, let me to thy bosom fly, while the nearer water rolls, while the tempest still is high. Hide me, O my Saviour, hide, till the storm of life is past, safe into the haven guide. O receive my soul at last. And it's a very sad
for a number of people, I think, in the community.
Yeah, and it's about dying, but it's also about sustaining in these difficult times. And I'd like to play this one actually for Liz Ormiston, who's going through tough stuff at the moment. And so, Liz, if you're listening, this is for you and Tom. Jesus, lover of my soul, let me to thy bosom fly, while the nearer waters roll, while the tempest still is high. Hide me, hide till the storm of life is past, safe into the heaven guide. Oh, receive my soul at last. Plenteous grace with thee is found, grace to cover all my sin. Let the healing streams abound, make and keep me pure within. Love, life, the fountain heart, thirsty to the think of thee. Spring I now in my heart, rise to all eternity, rise to all eternity.
That was rather lovely, actually.
Nice tune.
Yeah,
incredibly
very nice.
difficult to
Yes,
sing.
well, you sang it very beautifully. And those of you who are not physically in the Steinway Room, I can tell you that the room reverberates when he sings like that. It's rather lovely.
Right. Now,
nice.
I've got one more song and I've got to go on. So
which one are you going to do?
I can do the one you raised me up afterwards.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to do this one, which is for
Good Night, My Angel.
Yep.
Okay, so Michael Cooper, you suggested this one for last week, but you weren't actually with us last week because you were with your family and meeting your lovely new grandson, who is 2 years old, adopted grandson. And I know it was a real joyous weekend for you. And you suggested this song, which is a beautiful one to sing. And so I also thought that Hilary and Bill Hawley would like it because although it was their wedding anniversary, 42 years old they are this last Wednesday, but very special was that on Thursday they got a second granddaughter born, little Emmy. So for you all, this is Jonathan singing Good Night, My Angel.
Lovely Billy Joel. Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave, and you should always know, no matter where you are, I am no matter. I'm going to start it again, because I used to sing this song 100 times, and my vision is I'm reading lines. So I'm going to try again. Are you ready? I don't want to ruin it, because it's such a beautiful song. Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave you, and you should always know, wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I never will be far away. Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep, and still so many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay, and like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday a child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die, that's how you and I will be. That song, I have happy memories of Nick weeping his heart out in Northern Ireland.
He stood there listening to you sing it. Oh, it was lovely.
Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on.
Beautiful song.
That's a lovely song, Billy Joel, and I'm sorry I had to start again, but that's proved it's live. This song, the next song now is a recorded song. We're just going to have a little break, a little loop break, and then listen to it. It comes from the album All That Matters, and it's a song that David Clift, who's my next guest, has requested, and he'll be on directly after this. Here you go. Blessed be your name in the land that is plentiful, with streams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name when I'm found in the desert place. Though I walk through the wilderness, blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be your name when the sun's shining down on me, when the world's all as it should be. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name on the road marked with suffering, though there's pain in the offering. Blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. You give and take away. Give and take away. Give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Well, welcome back. I've got my dark glasses on because then I can see, because I can't see them otherwise. They're a blur for me. But that was a song requested by our wonderful guest. Can you just say hello to us, David and Roz Clift? I presume it's both Roz Clift.
Yes.
Is that correct? Just checking it wasn't you hadn't got separate names and
No.
you know, and all that. Well, welcome to JV live from the Steinway Room. It's nice. It's so lovely to have you on. And it was an inspired idea while sitting up in bed yesterday, having seen your post, David, to the JV community. And I suddenly, I talked to you originally about coming on some time ago.
You did.
And I thought, actually, what better time than now when both of us are heading down that same route of, hopefully. Transplants. And actually the same route with Roz giving you hers and Sue giving me hers. So we are both very, very grateful men, are we not?
Oh, we are. We're both very blessed.
We are indeed. Well, welcome, David and Roz. So how are you feeling? How are you feeling, guys?
Yeah, I'm reasonably well at present. You will know yourself how draining this can be. And, Sunday is probably the best day of the week for me because it's been a day since my last treatment, and I haven't gone far enough to be feeling the effects of not having the treatment, shall we say. So, it's a good day, Sunday, for me.
David, Jonathan's mentioned that he's met you in dialysis, but what is your journey of getting there?
Oh, well, I've been having renal replacement therapy for 30 plus years.
An awfully long time, David.
Yeah, I started in my late 20s, and my renal failure was really discovered by accident. I went to my sister's wedding, which was on the 1st of January, and I had a really sore throat. So the next day, rather than going to work, I went to the doctor and said, I've got a really sore throat. And he looked at it and said, that's not a sore throat. But he said, I haven't taken your blood pressure for a while. He said, let me take your blood pressure. And it was up. And he said, oh, come back, we'll test it again. And it was still up. And he said, well, I think there's something wrong with your heart. So he sent me off to the heart specialist, who then, after I'd seen him, rang me up and said, there's nothing wrong with your heart, it's your kidneys. And I thought, oh, well, that's good, they can fix kidneys. Little did I know.
Yes, indeed.
That's when it started for me. I went into hospital to have a fistula formed, which is a method of accessing your blood supply effectively.
And it's not pleasant, is it? It's not a pleasant procedure, nor is it pleasant having it in your arm.
Well, no, it gets better with time. I suffer from my fistula that they did has continued working for all this time, which isn't common. The side effect of that is there is some very tough skin in my arm, and having to stick a needle through it at times, if you're not in the right place, can be quite painful. Usually,
I see that constantly with people who've got fistulas. If they don't get it right, it hurts.
I think the thing is that naively, those of us who perhaps have not come across dialysis and so on, we just say, oh, someone's in dialysis. But of course, there is no easy way to link a machine to a human body, is there? You've got to create a pathway of some kind. And so that's where the problems start, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I started off having my fistula done. I was taken in to hospital in May. It was just after the first May bank holiday. That's how long it took to get from being diagnosed to actually being treated. They said, oh, you'll come in and we'll do it, and you probably won't need it for 6 or 8 months. I went in to have the operation, and they said, oh, actually, your blood results are so bad we can't actually operate on you. So I had to go have emergency dialysis. So I started off like Jonathan with a subclavian line, which...
For those of you who don't know what that means, you've seen it. I'll show you.
Oh, you can demonstrate, you see? Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Visual aids and everything.
Visual aids. Can you see that? Everybody can see that. So it's 2 pipes that they connect in to the red to red and blues balloon. It's on the artery, and they try and effectively create a circle around which it flows. The blood flows. Right, go on. So
so that
first. Yeah,
so that line is actually connected into Jonathan's jugular vein. So don't pull it out.
But unless you, I've really annoyed her.
Yeah, well, my dear departed brother-in-law had the same line. He had renal failure. He actually managed to pull his out while he was asleep one night. Didn't even bleed.
Wow. Oh my word.
Anyway, so I had to have dialysis immediately before they could even do the operation. And I had my first transplant about 8 months after I went on dialysis, which was a live-related transplant from my mother.
Oh, right.
That was my first transplant. And
so could you stop a minute? Because I think it's quite important, people. I've invited you on because you are so knowledgeable about it, more knowledgeable than I know a lot of the doctors, and which is a sad thing to say. But you've also you've not just had one. How many have you had?
3.
3. Right, that's just greedy. And so this will be number 4. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. No. 3 wasn't very good for me.
No. Okay. But, so your mum's kidney lasted you how long, David?
8 years and 9 months.
Okay. That was good.
And then
the average lifespan for a kidney transplant is 5 years.
Okay.
So, but I'm the perfect example of that. My first one, which was from my mother, was 8 years, 9 months. When that failed, interestingly, from your comment earlier, I was about to fly to Barbados. And rather than flying to Barbados for Christmas, I was in St Helier Hospital having emergency dialysis because they couldn't understand how high my blood results had got without anyone noticing. But I then spent 7 a bit years on dialysis, initially hemodialysis like I'm doing now, just the same as Jonathan, and then a different form of dialysis called CAPD. And then I got the call for a cadaveric transplant. So that is from a deceased donor. So I had that on the 30th of June 2000. So it's a millennium kidney. And that lasted me until 2016.
Gosh.
Okay.
So that's
a long time.
Yeah, that's a really good transplant. I did lots then. I sailed across the Atlantic and did all lots of other mad things.
Sailed across the Atlantic?
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear about that. Come on.
So I sailed with a group called the Jubilee Sailing Trust, the JST.
Yeah, heard of them. Yeah.
And a wonderful organisation. They specialise in doing sailing adventures for able-bodied and disabled people.
Yeah.
So that their ships, well, then they had 2. They've only got 1 now because of financial constraints on them.
Yeah.
But their ships are designed to cater for not just able-bodied people, but wheelchair-bound people, blind people, all sorts. And they tend to try and have a voyage crew that's a 50-50 split. So they have the able-bodied people helping the less able, shall we say. And, it's a great organisation. If you ever get the chance to support them, I'd recommend it. They do a lot.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you sailed, how long did that take you?
I was on board for 30 days. I like to say I sailed from Sydney to Southampton, and then people say, wow. And I say, well, it was Sydney, Nova Scotia. It was a great voyage, very quick voyage coming across the Atlantic. We came out of St John's in Newfoundland, crossing the Grand Banks at the same time. The end of a hurricane came up from America, so everyone kept suggesting we needed to play. I can't remember the film now. That's the other thing with renal failure; your memory goes. But
yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Yeah. But yeah, we had a great sail over from St John's into Cork in Ireland, and we celebrated merrily on the town. So something
That's
I'm not
fantastic.
allowed to do at present.
No, but you're now moving into. It was quite a difficult time, where everything was fine. It was going, and you had your MDT, the multidisciplinary team meeting.
Yeah.
And as I did, and before they said it, there was go on.
Sorry, can I just ask? So, Roz, you're now hoping to give him your kidney. So, when did this journey start for you?
Okay.
Oh, it started it was almost 2 years ago when I sent in the application form to see if I could be a donor, because I've had some health issues myself, so I really wasn't sure if they'd let me do it. But they started off with the kidney function test, and because that was all really good, they said, it should be fine, because although I've had health issues, my kidneys are actually fine. So I thought we were all good to go ahead. But it's been a really long process, what with COVID in the middle as well. And a lot of things stopping. We've been waiting.
Yeah. So we were actually flying to Norway. I had business out in Norway, and Roz had never been there. So I said, come with me, and you can help carry some of my dialysis supplies. So we went with my dialysis machine over to Norway. And when we got to the hotel, we say, you've had a delivery for me. And shortly later, a lady came up with a very large trolley covered in boxes of dialysis supplies. She probably wondered what we were up to. But as we were waiting in Gatwick Airport, we had a call from the transplant coordinator saying, everything's good, you're good to go. And good to go isn't quite what we thought it was.
No. We were told we were good to go, but I think the nurse actually meant we were good to go on the pathway towards the workup for kidney donation. So and
it's interesting the language that they use, isn't it? And the language that, if you're not familiar with it, and you're familiar with it,
I work with the NHS, so I should know.
I in the end, what I did was I connected with the counselling team as part of Kidney Care UK, and had a very helpful woman talk about it. And one of the things that she said was, there's something here about management of expectations, I think. And I think that's exactly what you're saying, isn't it? That you thought, that's it, where we're on our way, which is what we thought. And actually, it wasn't that at all. It was just, you're going to meet the transplant consultant.
And as soon as you met her, she went, well, no, you're not having a transplant yet. Look, you're too fat. And those were practically her words.
She said to us the other day, she was very concerned about how much fluid he was carrying.
She said, I'm so sorry, I must have come across as very blunt. I said, yeah, you did.
Pretty much.
And I think expectations were high, and they were given, by my consultant at the time, who said, yes, we just go in and we'll have a date for you. And we're going to avoid dialysis completely. We've got a live donor. We can go straight in. We can go into the And she looked at her and went, no, you're far too fat. She said, we can't do that. You're going to have to lose. And when I came in, in December, you saw me. I was something like at least 10 kilograms over what I am now. And I had to get down to whatever it was. But this expectation where they say, yes, everything's fine. And then in an MDT meeting, this multidisciplinary team meeting, one doctor can say, no, I don't like the look of that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened.
Isn't that what happened to you recently? Just explain, just both of you. I don't mind who.
Yeah, so I think we also had to meet on the Thursday. We had an interview with someone from the Human Tissue Authority where they had to check that I wasn't being coerced into donating a kidney. So we had all this formal interview where they spoke to myself, then they spoke to David separately, and then they interviewed us together just to check everything. And they said, that's all fine, we're approving it, and tomorrow we're having our meeting and we'll hopefully then have a date for surgery, which would be in like June maybe. So then we were
we'd have had your slot, Jonathan.
We were expecting the phone call. And we told people, we're expecting the date for surgery, and then they call us and they say, actually we've had the MDT and one of the doctors is concerned about Rosalind's health, and we don't know whether it's going to go ahead at the moment. So yeah, that was quite a blow.
How did you feel? How did you both feel at that moment?
I think we both felt really disappointed.
Yeah. It was a very low point.
Yeah.
That Friday.
Yeah. I met you then on that day, didn't I?
Yeah.
I saw you in the evening, and you know how.
And the worst thing, David, and I have to say, it felt like that moment when you've got two children in the house, and one has passed the exam with flying colours, and the other one has failed, and you don't know how to address the one that has passed, because the one that failed you have deep concerns for. And I came in, and I just said to Sue, I cannot, although we just received the date, I cannot now go in and say, hallelujah, it's all great, because there's so many people in there for whom, including yourself, for whom it's not great, and they don't get a date, and they don't actually get any, I know very many people in there for whom life is not as close as it is for you and I.
Yeah.
And they don't have faith, and they don't have anything actually. They don't have each other. They don't have a support. They don't have a community. They don't have anything. Yeah. So I didn't want to go in there. And as always, I'm trying to care for people and look after people. That's my tendency, I suppose. I'm glad to say. But
so how did you both handle that bitter blow?
I think that it really comes down to our joint faith. I know that I can rely on the Lord. I know that at some point this will be corrected, and there are a number of ways that could happen. But I've been through the cadaveric donor program twice now, and it is, you have no idea when you'll get that call. And last time, as my third transplant was another cadaveric one. I think I'd only been on the list reactivated on the list a few weeks, because I'd had some quite serious heart issues. Dialysis isn't kind on your heart. No. And I'd been in St George's for a fortnight, and I think I've been out for a couple of weeks really. And this was before Roz and I were married, and we'd gone to visit my sister, and we got a call, and I jokingly said, because it was a withheld number on a Saturday, I said, oh, this will be the hospital with a kidney for me. And it was.
And it was.
Yeah. And I was in Cheltenham. The hospital, as you know, is in St George's.
Tooting.
So in Tooting. So literally packed ourselves back into the car with the dog, drove to the hospital, and they said, oh yeah, kidney, we need 28 vials of blood, please. And about 2:00 in the morning, I was wheeled off for surgery, and Roz and the dog went to find an Airbnb to spend the night in. And the people say, you were talking about it, are you scared about the surgery? The surgery is the easiest bit. They lay you on a table, they give you some white stuff, you don't remember anything. So the surgery is easy. It's the recovery that's the difficult part. It can be extremely painful. As I commented to you the other day, don't read anything funny, because laughing with I think my last transplant scar had 80 staples in it, and it's not particularly that movable, but I woke up the next day on the ward, and I knew there was something wasn't right. And that afternoon the surgeon came back in, looked at me and said, we need another ultrasound of the kidney, and they wheeled me down to the ultrasound room. He himself did the ultrasound, and about 5 minutes he said, right, open up the emergency theatre, this guy needs surgery immediately. And I pushed down the corridor into an operating theatre. They had me unconscious, almost instantaneously. And I woke up the following day thinking, oh, they've done something, and then someone comes in and says, we're sorry, we've had to take the kidney out.
That's a huge roller coaster, isn't it? Because one minute you were down in Cheltenham having fun, and the next day you were thinking you got a kidney, and then the next day you hadn't got a kidney, and all that pain of surgery.
Yeah, and it was devastating, because you are thinking, as I'm driving to the hospital, I'm thinking of all the things that I can't do currently that I will be able to do.
Yes.
Just even simple little things like I'm on quite a restricted fluid diet, or fluid restriction. I can drink, I'm supposed to only drink 500 mils a day.
Oh, that's so little.
It is
so little.
Unbelievable. I drink 1.2 to 1.5, and I'm parched. I'm parched all the time.
Yeah. And I worked it out once, when on a normal day, when I have my a working kidney, I drink about 2 gallons of mainly tea, but tea and water. And that's the one thing that I look forward to more than anything, is actually to be able to go back to my pint mug of tea and be able to drink it and enjoy it. And
I look forward to the shower, David. I haven't had a shower. I've had to wash in the basin.
I've noticed.
7 months. Oh, to stand. I know. Yes, it's right. You smell as I come in. But, the time it takes, and then the joy I used to have of standing under a hot shower.
Well, that's the advantage of the fistula, you see. Once you're disconnected, there's nothing to get infections in. So
no, that is that. Anyway, listen. Before we just go on, just to break up this thing, I'm going to sing. And one of the things that always strikes me is that you've got a friend. Is the piano on mute?
Yeah,
could you just unmute it for her and then mute it again? Just stay with us, David and Roz. When you're down and trouble, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just called out my name, and wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and wherever I am, I come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend, oh darling.
You've got a friend,
oh darling. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend. Now, where it says, I'll come running to see you. Do you know wherever I am? I'll come running to see you. I'm not coming to see you. Turn the piano off and put the mic. I will not be running from the operating theatre to your side. I'm just telling you that right now. However, there are people who will be able to run to your side. I can see you again, and the glasses are on. But it just won't be me. Welcome back, David and Roz. I just wanted to sing that song, actually, which is the song of the community, as you know, and which they all sung. I saw the film the other day, and it was so good, actually, to see them all. Lovely. Very emotional. You get a lump in the throat. I still get very emotional
when I'm watching the You've Got a Friend video, I have to say, with you lot all singing beautifully.
And it's been part of... do you remember I used to say, when I was going into the unit, what was the first thing I said to you about going into the unit? And I said...
When Jonathan started dialysis, and he was very sad, he did not want to do this. It was not a journey he wanted to go on. And he said, I'm just going to keep my head down. I'm just going to go in, do it, and come out again. I'm not going to get involved. And David, I just nodded my head and thought, well, that's going to last about a nanosecond, knowing my husband. So is that how he's behaved in the dialysis unit?
Oh, definitely not. Jonathan is very gregarious. He likes to talk to people. And
I like to talk to him, that's the thing.
I know some of them have complained that he's a bit loud. Yes. We've tried to have Jonathan moved into our bay because we're quite noisy in our bay, and Jonathan
the noisiest. Bay 1 is the noisiest by far. It's the most badly behaved. I love it.
Yes, we are. Unfortunately, some of the Bay 1 normal residents have gone to do their dialysis at other times of the day.
Oh, no.
That's right.
No.
I can't cope anymore.
But actually, a lot of people, although there were a few, there are a couple that keep it down. Well, but most of the people on the bay that I was in, Bay 2, again, I was able to give a couple of people lift, 3 people at one point, then 2, and it was very, very sad to stop that, I have to say, because my help is always practical. I like to, be practical and help people out and do what I can to help people. Simon, for example, that went well, and Amanda, and then giving lifts to Brian and Lindsay. And I'm sorry now that I'm in isolation, I can't do it, but it was a blessing for me as well to help them, and
it took you away from.
Took me away from it.
I'm in a sad place. I don't want to be doing this, and I'm depressed.
Can I just ask you, Roz, when David goes off for dialysis, what kind of life are you left with? Do you have to just get on with it? And
yeah, I do, and it's been really hard as well because with COVID and shielding, I think especially with the latest lockdown in the spring, I found it really hard because normally I would, if I was at home on my own, I would go out and visit a friend, but I couldn't even do that.
No.
But I would say that I found my Christian faith has really helped me.
Let's talk a bit about that.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Roz, your faith, first of all, because I want to find out, David, but your faith, you did was it an Alpha course, or was that David?
That was me.
David.
That was me.
David did Alpha, yeah.
But Roz, what about yours? Where did you find faith then?
I would say for my faith, I grew up in a home where both my parents were Christians, and so they took me along to church, but it was very much left up to me to decide if I wanted to be a Christian, and it was I think I was baptized where that was where I shared that I believed in Jesus for myself. And I was also going away to university as well. I had to think it through, where I was with people of lots of different faiths and friends of other faiths. And also I had a time where there had been a lot of illness in my own family, and I really had to think through about how can a God of love allow suffering to happen, And it was someone called Johnny Erickson Tada, who's an American, who had a terrible accident years ago where she was left paralyzed. And it was through her writing, reading her books, that they really helped me so much, because I was really questioning my own faith in that, how can God allow this? How can God allow suffering if he loves us? And she helped me work through it and see how the two are not incompatible, that actually God loves us and he shares in our sufferings. And also knowing that he's got a great plan for us as well. Everything has a purpose. Even the delay in the operation is for a reason. But it's kind of hard stepping away from our own little lives and kind of getting a bigger perspective on things. But I think only God helps us do that. But yeah, it certainly encouraged me and stopped me feeling like despairing of the situation.
That's strong. Yeah. And David, what about you?
Well,
I love, people love hearing journeys and stories. That's what they love.
As you know, as you gave away, I came to the Lord through Alpha, and it occurred. You know, I gave my life to the Lord on the Alpha weekend. So if you don't know about Alpha, it's an outreach evangelism course, typically outside COVID restrictions. It's held at your local church. You have a meal, you watch a video or listen to a talk about different subjects around Christianity. And the Alpha course I went on, they have an Alpha weekend away where they talk about the Holy Spirit. And it was while I was away on the Holy Spirit weekend, I sort of disappeared. I actually had to go after the bathroom, and I'd lock the door, and I was in there quietly, and that's when it occurred to me that actually I need to give my life to the Lord, because where I wasn't the best of places. I was doing I was working hard, but it wasn't that fulfilling. I worked with some amazing companies, and it just wasn't that fulfilling, and there was something missing. And that was Jesus Christ I came to discover. It's an odd thing. Many things happened to me on the toilet. So I came to Christ on the toilet. I got the call for my second transplant in exactly the same position. So
we're waiting for something really, because everything happens in threes. So could you just go off to the loo for a minute, and then I don't know, you might get a phone call.
My phone might start ringing, except muted, so they won't be able to get through to me.
I just love that. Because you see, when you're sitting on the throne of grace calls.
Yes.
Literally. I'm just saying that. Okay, just a little link there. The time always runs away, but one of the things, it's good to hear the journey that you've on, and even with faith, it's not an easy journey, is it? Just so that people understand.
No. Sorry,
both of you. Sorry, go on.
Well, I missed what you said.
For both of you, it's a difficult journey. Even with faith, it's a difficult journey. And when do you hear? Do you know when you hear, or are you just waiting now?
We're hoping that we will be discussed at the next MDT, which I think is this Friday. Yeah. So we could hear on Friday. So
we does he want to talk about? Hold on, I'm just.
Rachel's reminding us that you wanted to talk about. You wanted
donations.
To talk about
donations.
Donors.
Yes.
Donors.
Well, as I mentioned, I've had 2 donations from deceased donors, and I think everyone of an age will remember that when they've got a driving license, you get a kidney donation or an organ donation card, and you had to sign up. Recently, the law changed, and unless you opt out, you are assumed to be a valid organ donor. Most people who die, unfortunately, cannot be used for organ donation. Your typical organ donor, so that's kidneys, hearts, lungs, livers, pancreas, are people who are unfortunately have passed away but are being kept alive on a life support system machine. it's if you want to donate, if you want to be considered for donation, the biggest thing you have to do is tell your family and relatives that those are your wishes.
Yes.
Because the transplant team, if you're eligible after you've passed away, the transplant team will ask your relatives. They won't ask you, they will ask your relatives. And if they don't know your wishes, then your organs will be buried, or they will be cremated, and they will not be of any benefit to someone else. As a recipient, I'm immensely grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am to the two people, or the two families, that gave me the gift of life.
And I am as well.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here. My two daughters wouldn't be here. Roz wouldn't be here. Well, she would be, but not here.
We wouldn't be married.
We wouldn't be married. But so it is vitally important. The thing to remember is there is no cure for renal failure. There are only treatments, and a transplant is just another treatment. Unfortunately, as you'll have been able to tell from my tale, transplants don't last forever.
Indeed.
Yeah,
so I know. I'm looking forward to meeting you again at the renal unit in Farnborough in 16.8 years. Okay, I'll be 78 and I'll be a miserable old git. I'm just telling you now. All right,
I'll come and wind you up for a bit.
Yes, exactly. Well, just wind me up. Take me home. That's what I need you to do.
Well, I'm driving again now. They've done my cataracts.
Excellent. That gives you the freedom, doesn't it? Transport is one of those things. It's one of the we wanted to talk about that. Waiting for transport. It's such a depressing thing, having to wait around.
Yeah, all the years I've been on dialysis, and up until I moved to Farnborough just before Christmas last year, I've always been treated in St Heliers in Carshalton. Now, Google says that's a 45-minute drive. It typically takes an hour and a half, so that's 3 hours there and back. 4 hours of treatment. You can add on an extra hour for waiting to be put on and taken off.
Yeah.
So it was a long day, and I've always driven. And because of my cataracts, I had to use the transport, and it can be bad. It can be bad. There's a lot of waiting and uncertainty.
And Roz, it's been lovely. It's now 9:43. We've got to end it. Thank you so much for giving of yourselves and opening yourselves up to it and being honest about it. And thank you for telling us about your faith as well.
And I know that there will be many, many people within the community, those who pray and those who hold people in their thoughts. They will be wanting to think and pray for you over the next few days, that you will get a date. That you will get a date
hopefully
to have that transplant very soon. Bless you both, and
thank you.
I know that's what people will be saying in the community.
It will be tonight. They are, and keep writing on the community. Keep people informed.
I will. I'll keep everyone up to date.
And it's lovely having you as part of the JV community. And
thank you.
Long may we're not finishing anytime soon. And as soon as I can get back in this room, as soon as I can sit at the piano. Holding my stitches with my left hand and playing with my right and singing with my vocal folds, then I'm going to be here back in the studio and singing for people. It's been lovely having you. God bless you both, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Shut away in your little room.
Shut away, I wave furiously. God bless you guys.
Both.
Bye. Bye.
See you. When can you just undo the
Done.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when trouble comes my heart burdened be, then I'm still and waiting in the silence. till you come and sit a while with me. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I'm filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Then I am strong when I'm on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. Then I'm strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. And who was that for, Sue?
It was suggested by Sue, actually, Sue Marsh, that actually it would be a good one for those of us who've had a week of struggling and finding life a bit difficult. So that was for everyone in the community.
Oh, love that will not let me go, I rest my weary soul in Thee. I give Thee back the life I owe, that in Thine ocean depths its flow may reach a full of Thee, may reach a full of Thee. Oh, light that follows all my way, I yield my flickering torch to Thee. My heart restores its borrowed ray, that in Thy sunshine's blazes stay may brighter, fairer be, may brighter, fairer be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go. Oh, joy that seekest me through pain, I cannot close my heart to Thee. I trace the rainbow through and feel promise is not vain, that morn shall tearless be, that morn shall tearless be. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that will not let me go. Oh, perfect love, unchanging love, oh, love that never lets me go.
Oh, love that will not let me go, indeed. That's particularly lovely. Evelyn Blackburn requested that for Roy, who is going to be 80 on Wednesday. Also for Ben, their pastor, who is 60 today. And I also wanted to mention lovely Jean, who is Pickle's mum, because she was 93 yesterday, and she's a lovely lady. We do know her. So happy birthday for yesterday, Jean. And I think, oh yes, and I also wanted to mention David and Vera. It's your 51st wedding anniversary today, I picked up. So congratulations on 51 years together.
And this is actually, this is for Sue, my Sue.
Oh, hello.
And for Leslie Sutton, to tell them about Leslie.
Yes, we had a chat with Leslie. Leslie, you may remember, came on and spoke very honestly about her journey through cancer. And she's a lovely lady and has been having some difficult treatment and some difficult responses to treatment. And she had a very heavy conversation recently about, could be sort of, we're going to do another scan, but we think it's sort of 6 to 8 weeks possibly that you have left to live. And she went back for the results of the scan and they said, oh, actually, you've got 3 months without treatment because we can't find anything at the moment. Now, she was very keen to say, I've not been healed. I've been given a gap. But a gap over the summer when she can see and enjoy all her lovely family. And we love Leslie. So those of you who pray, please pray for Leslie and her family. And for those of you who wrap people in your positive thoughts, please do that for Leslie. That would be wonderful.
This is from an album I did called Life and Soul, 21 years ago. A little arrangement I did of this beautiful song. And Sue said today that she's going to have it at her funeral. I hope I'm not there to sing it.
Not yet, though.
How sweet the name of Jesus sounds in a and drives away his fear. It makes the wounded spirit whole and calms the troubled breast. 'Tis manna to the hungry soul and to the weary rest, and to the weary rest.
Thank you, my darling. That was beautiful. Thank you for singing that for me. So we've come to the end of yet another evening. I can't believe it. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience in listening and enjoying the songs and singing along. We have all the notices will go up on www.jvlivetech.uk, and all the notices about how you can get CDs and so on. But also, David and Roz wanted to highlight the Kidney Fund. So they will be putting a link up there to that. You can go and have a look at that and see if there's anything that you can do to help, and have a sort of think about donating and so on, and how to tell your families, etc. So that's a good thing to be.
That's a good thing
about.
to do. We will be giving any money that you give us, and we thank you for your gifts. Those who've given this week.
We very much thank you, because you are kind and you're generous, and we bless you for that. Those of you who are unable to give, that's fine.
That is fine.
You give in so many other ways, and it's about, it's all in a pot and it's all being passed around. So we are grateful for the gifts that do come in. And those of you who want to give, you can either do it through paypal.me/Jonathan Vera, or you can just write to me, sue@jonathanvera.com, and I can give you any information that you need about a bank account or the PayPal message or whatever it is. But that's the address to contact me on. That, sue@jonathanvera.com.
For that in advance, because we are now going into a period. Next week will be the last one, where I have very special guest Graham Kendrick, an old friend of mine. I've arranged so many songs in the past for him back in the 80s, and played with him for many years. And he's coming on and just talking about his life. We won't be able to play any of his songs that he's done, that he's recorded, because of copyright reasons. We cannot play them. We're not allowed. We will get shut down. So I will play the songs that I've recorded of his, and I'll play a few of that I know of his songs. And it will be a GK night, not just his songs, but that will be, and we'll have a lovely elongated interview with him then. But we will be giving. I just meant to say that that will be the last week before we go up for our operation, and then we go quiet for a week, and then Rachel and Claire will be helping to put on some stuff so that you're not going to be something will come on for you.
We know that these evenings are so valuable to you, and we don't want to leave you in the lurch. So just 1 week without anything, that will be the 13th of June. And then after that, something of some sort will be happening. We don't quite know what it will be, but we trust Rachel and Claire to get something sorted out.
And then we'll be back when we can, as soon as I can get behind a piano, as soon as I can start singing, as the Staples will allow me.
But even if you can't sing, you could sit and play the piano for you.
Yeah, I'll sit and play the piano and talk to you, and that will be what we'll do.
If you know of a need, or you have needs of your own, please do not forget You've Got a Friend Fund. We really do want you to be using that. So please do not think that that's not happening. It is still ongoing.
We love you to contribute.
So we would love you to contribute, or we would love you to tell us that there is a need, and we can access the information for you.
And we will be giving the next 2 weeks, whatever you give us, to YGAF.
25%.
25%. 25% of whatever you give us, we give to YGAF. And I'm going to have Adrian on next week, one of the trustees, to come on and just talk about what's been going on, just for a short 5-10 minute interview, just to tell us and encourage us, actually, what you're doing to help people, put an arm around people during these difficult days. And there are going to be many more difficult days ahead. For us, we hope we can earn a living eventually and get back to singing. At the moment, it's just, my son is out working, but churches are finding it more difficult to think about putting on events where more than 30 people can be there. And we want to get back to performing as soon as we can afterwards, because I would like to earn a living this side of the turn of the century. It's been 15 months now since I was paid to do a proper gig. So I would love to be able to earn my living properly, as I've done before. Buy the CDs if you can. Is there any other thing, Sue, that you wanted to say? No, it's 10 o'clock. So. It's time to close. Time for Sue to... Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God holds you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace, and give you his peace. See you next week, the Graham Kendrick special. See you then.
Next week. Thank you, Techie
God bless you.
guys. Love you
Bye-bye.
lots. Bye.